The moment I first climbed into the electric blue Volkswagen ID.3 for what was supposed to be a quick test drive, I already felt like I was experiencing the future. It wasn't just the futuristic dashboard or the smooth, silent propulsion that stood out. It was knowing that this humble hatchback, after more than 4 years and over 100,000 miles on its odometer, could still deliver next to new battery performance. In a world where many potential buyers fear that electric vehicle batteries degrade rapidly, this little Volkswagen has steadfastly proven that reality and myth couldn't be more different. It all started with a long-term study conducted by ADC, Germany's equivalent of the AAA in the United States. Over the course of 4 years and 107,000 test miles, these engineers followed a single ID.3 Pro S Tour model equipped with a 77 kilowatt-hour battery. At the beginning of the study, the car offered a real-world range of 272 miles, lower than the 326 WLTP miles claimed, but still respectable for a hatchback. When the battery test began, the capacity was at 96%, and that number only slipped to 91% by the time the car hit 105,500 miles. Even after enduring urban commutes, highway cruising, cold weather spells, and countless fast charges, the battery was still way above Volkswagen's 70% warranty threshold. That data tells a vivid story about how durable modern EV batteries have become, especially when paired with intelligent software management. The ID.3 eventually lost just 8 miles of range over the course of 100,000 miles, an amount so minimal it almost feels negligible. In a world where people hesitate to choose EVs for fear of losing range over time, this quiet performer from Germany delivers a compelling rebuttal. What's even more impressive, this EV triumphed in the real world, not under ideal conditions. Unlike the cautious advice of always charging to 80% to preserve battery life, the ADC team routinely charged it to full, and sometimes even left it plugged in. That's one of the trick statuses. Many people fear that charging habits have gone badly to battery health. But the ID.3 laughed in their face by holding strong. However, there's one underrated hero in this story, far more impactful than the battery cells themselves: software. During this multi-year study, the ID.3 received over-the-air updates that optimized energy management, routing algorithms, and temperature control. The effect was immediate. Efficiency improved from 3.11 miles per kilowatt-hour to 3.4 miles per kilowatt-hour, meaning the car traveled farther using the same juice. Moreover, charging speeds improved from 125 kilowatts to 160 kilowatts, shattering fast-charging myths and saving owners precious minutes at the charger. One update alone shaved about 2 minutes off a typical 1080% fast charge session. That is the beauty of living with a smart EV. Hardware remains consistent, but intelligence evolves. You're not just buying a car, you're buying a platform that grows more capable over time. For long-time internal combustion engine (ICE) drivers, that concept might feel radical. But for EV owners, it's becoming the new expectation. When we apply the same logic to the used car market, it gets even better. Many U.S. buyers hesitate at the thought of a used EV, fearing they'll inherit someone else's battery loss. With the ID.3 example, that fear evaporates. Imagine purchasing a 4-year-old EV in great condition and immediately benefiting from updated software that makes it feel nearly as fresh as it did off the lot. Used EVs with high battery health aren't just a gamble. They can be exceptional deals when you factor in performance and longevity. In the US, consumers often ask how good EV batteries are after full cycles, harsh summers, cold winters, or repetitive high-speed charging. The truth is emerging as stronger than many of us suspected. Most well-engineered EVs are built to retain 90% or more of their battery health after 100,000 miles, provided the batteries are managed well. The VW study confirms that smart battery design plus intelligent software means usable range sticks around. Of course, we need to remember context. The ID.3 isn't sold in the US, and its WLTP test cycle isn't directly comparable to the EPA. Still, the principles apply. A big battery and smart software feedback loop, like those used in VW's electric vehicles, stand in direct contrast to the fading battery myth. Compare that to older EVs that did see capacity fade due to early generation batteries lacking advanced thermal systems, and it's clear we've come a long way. So, what about US EV buyers? It's time to shift the narrative. Battery longevity isn't a gamble. You'd be better off worrying about tire wear, not cell wear. The data is rolling in, and it's robust. A decade-old Model S still offering 80% battery health isn't rare. A Chevy Bolt still averaging 200 miles per charge after 6 years? Not unusual. Fast charge advocacy and chemical resilience are proving formidable. The lesson? Buyers should take good care of their EV, avoid extreme charging and heat when possible, but they shouldn't treat the battery as a ticking time bomb. Modern EVs are built tough, and they keep getting smarter. Still, nothing is perfect. A 70% battery health threshold may seem generous, but for luxury EVs with short ranges, losing even 10% can feel real. A car with a 200-mile electric range losing 20 miles still feels significant to a first-time EV buyer. That's why understanding how software can rebalance that is vital. For many Americans considering a switch away from gasoline, the ID.3 study offers hope. It helps debunk the worry of battery fatigue, replacing fear with optimism. The car was put through real-world use, not laboratory tests. That's real confidence. Transit drivers, delivery folks, long-distance people, even retirees who drive 1,000 miles weekly, they all share the same battery concerns. What VW shows is exactly the reassurance they need. Follow Ion durable care, keep software updated, and range will last. In a sense, we're witnessing the maturation of electrification. That's why this story is so important. It's not just about a single VW model. It's about credibility. It's about reminding us that technology can be durable, dependable, and in many cases stronger than traditional gasoline cars. It's about software serving as more than just fancy bells and whistles. It acts as the silent guardian of battery life. As coverage of EV tech grows in the US, it's essential for American drivers to understand this shift. Automakers who invest in reliable battery systems, intelligent updates, and transparent testing are winning consumer trust faster than ever. If Rivian or Ford or GM highlight real-life battery longevity tests, they too would be contributing to a stronger case for electric adoption. Ultimately, the EV era is turning a page. We're moving from speculation, "Will the battery die?" to documentation. See how little it actually ages. We should talk less about range anxiety and more about range durability. We should shift from, "If the battery will survive," to, "How far will it take you in 5 years?" Of course, no technology lasts forever. But if you're buying an EV today, new or used, it's becoming clear that expectations ought to be rooted in real data. Battery degradation is real but manageable. And thanks to smart software, it's even reversible to a degree. So the next time someone tells you they're terrified about EV battery life, share this. An electric blue ID.3 still delivering 264 miles after 100,000 miles of real-world use. That's not just good news. It's evidence that the long road ahead is brighter than anyone thought.